the Crypto Experience Show, our first ever, live here on location in Miami, Florida, with Blockchain Wayne and Bank of Erica.
Hi.
We're really excited to have her on the show today. She's one of the staples in the Bitcoin Miami community. Just going to tell you guys a little bit about her. She's an incredible person, unbelievable personality, and she's been in the space for a while. She's the venture director of the Bitcoin hedge fund here in Miami. She's also the former CEO of Blockchain Center. I'm going to let Bank of Erica show us a little staple that she has from that opportunity and venture that she was involved in.
Yeah, so we opened up a blockchain center in 2019, and the mayor of Miami came out, did a ribbon cutting ceremony for us. Our sponsors were the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, the Beacon Council, the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, and the Downtown Development Authority. These are all government organizations that were really focused on seeing blockchain in Miami thrive. We had a great building in downtown Miami. If you guys have been there before for Blockchain Week or anything, I hope you enjoyed yourself. But we have a deep history in this city. So Blockchain Center still exists, not in Miami anymore, unfortunately, but we definitely made a stamp, and the city knows that Bitcoin is here to stay.
Yeah, we've seen some of that in recent news with Mayor Suarez. So absolutely exciting. There's just such a buzz here in the city of Miami around Bitcoin and crypto specifically. One other thing that you were involved in, she's a co-founder of the Bitcoin Center here in Miami. There was also one in New York City. Really exciting project. I got a chance to go to the one in New York. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the Bitcoin Center Miami was very similar to the one in New York, where all we wanted to do was teach as many people as possible about cryptocurrencies. It was very much retail focused, and we definitely taught a lot of people about Bitcoin.
So cool.
Cool. All right, Erica. So one of the things I love about the space is hearing people's story, your history. You've already shared quite a bit, but tell us a little bit more about yourself and where your passion is in the space.
Yeah, so I got brought into Bitcoin because of, first and foremost, liberty. And sometimes there's this saying that people come for the Lambo, but they stay for the revolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now there's the other people who come for the revolution, and then they find out what Bitcoin is, and fortunately, they find out early enough, and then they've made money on it, right? So for me, I campaigned for Ron Paul in 2012, just like, end the Fed, there's a lot of corruption that's happening in our financial system, and so Bitcoin was really this outlet for just creativity and wealth that we didn't have access to before. Unfortunately, I didn't buy Bitcoin in 2012, so I'm not a whale, so don't try to rob me, you guys. But it was just that progression of loving politics, finding out that I was a libertarian, finding out that I was an anarcho-capitalist, and seeing that, hey, this is a tool for us to really free the markets. So the liberty perspective is really why I do it. I don't even necessarily like technology. It's more that I see how much money the Federal Reserve is printing right now, and for me, it's like, my family lost their house in the 2008 financial crisis. So this really hits home for myself and a lot of millennials who we don't trust the banking system, and it's because they shouldn't be trusted. So definitely excited to have this tool and to be able to share it with people.
Yeah, I think you hit some really big pillars. I just drives me insane when we see a bank like Wells Fargo get absolutely bailed out after criminal activity. I mean, that's what I would call it. So it really is. It just speaks volumes for how resourceful the crypto community is and what we can accomplish as a community. And I think being down here in Miami, we're already seeing that vibe. Having got the opportunity to meet you and some of your staff and people that you work with in the space here, it's so exciting.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. Why Miami? I mean, obviously, we love the beaches, we love the sun. Miami's a hotspot, but why? Tell us a little bit about the history of Miami, South Florida, in Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency history.
Yeah, so many people don't know this, but there is a very deep history when it comes to Miami and the Bitcoin community. So we've had probably one of the longest running Bitcoin conferences, the North American Bitcoin Conference. People call it Bitcoin Miami, and that's been running since 2014. So actually what happened was the mayor also, Mayor Suarez is really on top of this, but last year he worked with us and he declared January 13th through 20th to be officially Miami Blockchain Week every single year, because that conference has been running since 2014 here. We also have one of the longest running Bitcoin hackathons in conjunction with that conference. So Bitstop has put on the Bitcoin hackathon since 2015, and you see.
Where do they do that at?
They did it like normally at the conference venue. Last year they actually did it at my blockchain center.
Oh, wow.
So moved around a little bit, but it's just how many interesting projects have come from BTC Miami and just this hub here. Many people don't know this, but Ethereum and Litecoin were also launched here. Ethereum, there was this house on Miami Beach that all the Ethereum devs would meet up at and really discuss things. So there's a deep history, I mean, and not just Miami, it's Florida. So the Bitcoin pizza story, that was Jacksonville. Craig Wright, right? His case took place in West Palm Beach because that location had the jurisdiction for the case, which makes you think, was Satoshi in West Palm Beach? Like, I don't know, he could have been.
Very possible, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the history is really deep. And then also, yeah, just the history alone of Bitcoin and Miami is very deep. And I'm excited because we have a lot of opportunities here. You know, we have no state income tax, and that is very attractive. We have mayors and governors that are interested in seeing fintech really thrive.
Yeah.
So history's great, but I'm really looking forward to the future.
And we didn't script this part, but you know, getting the opportunity, Blockchain Wayne and I, to come down here to South Florida and Miami and get to meet Bank of America and actually have, you know, a leader in the space. That's what me and Wayne would consider her. Is just incredible because it brings a totally different perspective, and it's exciting to have such a diverse community. You know, so you've talked a lot about that. You quoted a statistic earlier, 27.2%. I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so 27.2% of people in Miami-Dade County feel like they proficiently speak English. Now, that is wild because we're in America, but what's interesting is people will make jokes and they'll say, like, what's the best city in Latin America to do business in? And then they'll say Miami.
Yep.
Because it is Latin America, and I tell people, like, anybody that was able to get out of their countries or just, you know, made enough money to have a residency in the US, they made a home in Miami. So a lot of people speak Spanish here, which is wonderful, and it gives us this great market because, you know, in the United States, we're very privileged. So we don't really understand the need for Bitcoin because we have a relatively stable currency. But in Latin America, it's not even that they want to get rich, it's that they don't want to get poor.
Yep.
So when you talk to people here, instantly they will realize that, hey, this is a gold. This is a form of money that will store my wealth better than my depreciating, you know, whatever fiat. So that Latin American and Spanish influence is huge here, and that's why I think the city is already primed for this.
Yeah, no, I would agree, and I think, you know, what we're planning to have in April here, it's so important that, you know, Wayne is basically has really made his living in the crypto space being a one-on-one educator with folks who have absolutely no knowledge of crypto whatsoever. And myself, I've been really heavily involved in mining, which is just at its very core supporting the community to allow blockchains to survive. So I think, you know, when we bring everyone together in April for the crypto experience here in Miami at the Miami Intercontinental, where we are live on location today, it's just going to be an absolutely exciting event. And Bank of America here jumping in to the pool with us. It's going to be really exciting. And Wayne, did you have anything else you want to talk about?
It's just, this is going to be an experience for people. And if you've been to cryptocurrency or Bitcoin conferences in the past, I'm not knocking those, a lot of great things have come from those events, but we're looking to make it more of an experience. You're not just going to sit in a room listening to speakers. You're going to have workshops and people like Erica and myself and other educators that are going to be doing workshops teaching people about mining, about the basics of getting started in security, about some trading topics, you know, for beginners to intermediates. We're going to have that full experience, and it's going to be Miami, so we will have that experience. I mean, you just mentioned jumping in the pool, right? So,
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, literally.
yeah, literally and figuratively.
I mean, this is one of the only places in the world right now that is people are outside, they're smiling, you can see smiling, beautiful faces, and it's nice temperature. Sorry for those who are in a snowstorm. You want to come down here.
Yeah.
I want to do one thing before we close. I want to take the lid off of something that Bank of America is going to possibly bring to the table at the experience. So I want you to share a little bit about what you might curate for us in terms of a workshop.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in helping people when it comes to operational security. I think that even people who are OGs, they have some upgrades they could do to make sure that their Bitcoins are actually safe. Ways that they can store their private keys where they don't have to worry about it, and if something happens to them, they can pass it on to their children with ease. So I think bringing that aspect of the space, plus like I really love educating the one-on-one.
Yep.
I really love that, hey, let's take a group of people who don't own any Bitcoin at all, they don't know what a wallet is, and let's get them onboarded. Because it's very, very important for us to make sure that our friends and family are the ones that own Bitcoin before all these huge financial institutions get in. And while I'm glad that institutional money is coming in, you know, that's not really the goal. The goal is wealth transfer, the goal is bank the unbanked. The goal is, you know, now people across the globe who have a cell phone and a Wi-Fi signal can now participate in a global economy. Like, this is what we want. So I really hope that people leave the conference with knowledge and inspiration, so that way they go home and they become their own little nodes and they teach their surrounding circles.
Yeah. One thing I can add to that, I mean, that's right on point with what I like to tell people as well. So you nailed it. For us, a lot of us get involved in the space initially as a speculative investment. We see the movement, we see the potential, we see the future. But I tell people all the time, if you need to learn it, even if you're still skeptical, open up your mind, learn a little bit more, because for us, it could be an investment vehicle. But for our kids and grandkids in the future, this is going to be a way of life for them. They're not going to understand, I've got to wait 3 to 5 days for a deposit to clear. No, they're going to understand instant, transparent. They're already seeing that in the digital world with the games they play. So for us, we're creating a movement, but it's going to really transform, you know, those lives of those people, the kids and grandkids in the future, and also the people in the countries where it's vital. You know, I talked to somebody from Venezuela, and he was a lawyer, and you would think, oh, lawyers at least have decent money, but it doesn't matter when the currency collapses.
Yeah.
And if he wouldn't have been involved with Bitcoin, he would not have been able to survive. So it's a matter of life and death for some people in these different countries. And you get to participate in the movement and benefit financially. Let's face it. I mean, everybody wants to benefit financially from it. So, you know, I like come for the Lambo, stay for the revolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Amazing.
The other thing too is we keep talking about the word experience, you know, and I think there's something very subtle but very powerful about that here in Miami, because when you get off the plane and you come to the hotel and you're in the city, you just know you're experiencing life, like Erica talked about, smiling faces. Everybody's enthralled to be here, no matter what industry they're in, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily even have to be the Bitcoin space or the blockchain space. Everybody in Miami just got this energy, this vibe, and that's what we're bringing here. April 21st, 22nd, 23rd. It is not going to be a conference. It is not going to be a convention. It is not even going to be an event. You are going to come experience crypto at the Miami Intercontinental with Bank of Erica, Blockchain Wayne, and Zero Cool, and the entire crypto experience team. And we cannot wait to have you guys come out here.
Yeah, I mean, we already do have a bunch, like, at the events that I throw here, the guy-girl ratio is great. You have a bunch of intelligent people in the room. You have city officials that come out because they are also interested. So this really is an experience, and, you know, if 27% of people speak English, that means that 70+% of them speak Spanish, and Latin people know how to party, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what is it you were saying earlier? Beaches.
Oh yeah, beaches, Bitcoin, and babes. Come to Miami.
Let's go.